Welcome everybody to Robb's MetalWorks. We are here at the Alamo City Music Hall to support one of our favorite bands, the band from Florida, rockers, heavy metalers, one of my favorite bands of all time. Brings me great pleasure to welcome back the man, Elias Soriano of NONPOINT. Sir, welcome back after a little while.
Good to see you, man.
Great to have you on the program. Lots of things to talk about. But, you know, I've been supporting NONPOINT for a long time. So really one of the first questions that I want to ask now as we, come into almost the second decade of the life of NONPOINT. When you think back at the long career now, what would you kind of say are some of the highlights, or what gratification do you still get after continuing to evolve and still make an impact in music with the band NONPOINT?
I think that's the biggest one. Being able to make the music is the greatest gratification. We're a band that prides itself on its show and the music that we put out. So we've been blessed to continue to put it out, and still have teams and labels that still want to put on our music. So and fans that still want to buy it and come to the shows. Our fan base keeps growing, so we're happy for that, and that's the real gratification, I think, is the happiness.
Yeah, and people who've been longtime fans of the band know that the band has seen its ups and has seen its downs, and you guys just continue to persevere. And I think that's one of the things too that I've always loved about NONPOINT. You guys are very consistent and continue to do it, man. So.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been around a long time, so there's lots of format changes and lots of genre trends that come and go, and luckily we're one of the bands that stuck around.
And one of the things too that we have to kind of talk about is that there have been some lineup changes in the band. Of course, you as kind of the frontman and the mainstay, and Robb Rivera, the drummer, but have seen some guitar players come and go. And it seems really now with the addition of BC and Rashid that the band has really kind of found a new foundation kind of to build upon. Share a little bit about that, because I kind of feel that this is a new era for NONPOINT, since really people are coming on to them.
Yeah, it is, because we're adding a second guitar player, having two other voices that can sing in the band now, yeah. and being able to do all those big harmonies is something that you try to do, but you really can't overdo in the studio when there's really just one of you to execute it during the live show. Having Rashid, him and I have really come into our own and blending together, and now having BC, who has a voice and has an ear for it. It's like you said, it's a new era for the band.
Talk a little bit about the title, The Poison Red. Where are we going with that?
It was really it's really a title about the imagery of those words altogether. It's poison is like a very definite word that it's a cause to alarm, yeah. and so is the color red. So it was really where the music was painting itself almost when we were putting it all together. The world around us is seemed to be slightly poisoned, and there's a lot of people talking out against it now, and really protesting the lack of moral compass. Our society has been kind of directing itself as of late. So though it seems like a little bit of foresight now, it was really all about painting the picture of where our entire world is sitting right now.
It is an intriguing time right now, and as you kind of alluded to with the advent of social media, and everyone has their voice. And when I started thinking about the title, and then the first single, Generation Idiot, and then kind of how the video for Generation Idiot kind of relays some of how people have kind of become just enamored with technology and live through their technology now. Can you share a little bit about your thoughts on that? obviously, there was a time earlier in our lives when that wasn't evident, and now the younger generation, with the teenagers now, have grown up like that, and yet we do not know. We cannot really see the impact of that when they become full-fledged adults.
Well, it's because it's having been on both sides of it, and what people aren't realizing is being able to find the right answer quickly isn't always the path to knowledge and learning.
Right.
Being able to get an answer quick on Google is fine and dandy, but it doesn't leave any room for future knowledge. All we're doing right now is passing around old information, and quickly. Someone else's knowledge is what you're sharing. Right. There's no new knowledge, and that's what that song is really calling to people, is that you're not learning anything new outside of stuff that you learn at school and right. interests that you take, and it's making people feel like they're smart, and they're not.
They're recycling and regurgitating.
Correct, and it would be nice to see. That's why I do what I do for a living. This is what I do. This is how I create and I spread what I feel like I'm good at. And people don't know what they're good at because they're not letting themselves, go down that path, because it's too easy and it's handed to them, quickly, and to the point where that's all we want you to know is what it feels like. It's boiled down to, and it's nice to be able to get an answer quick, but there's something to be said about research.
Obviously, it seems like that direction is going down an ominous path.
Yeah, it's
to really, some certain bad complex.
Well, yeah, it's devaluing. What really makes us human, and what really drives, the soul, and things like music, and food. For example, just look at what technology has done to music and the value of a song versus, and same thing with the value of a meal. People are more interested on taking a good picture of their meal than eating it hot. While you're sitting there trying to get the light and figure out the filter, it was sitting under the lamps for 5 minutes. Now it's sitting on your lap for another 10 minutes while you're posting on how this is the most amazing Chipotle you've ever had, and you haven't even taken a bite of it yet. So I call out to people to live life more in the tangible world than in the sharing and posting. No one gives a shit about your eggs today. Eat your food. Every once in a while, hey, I've had an amazing meal that I've taken a picture of. But it's these, every day, all day, it's like, come on. It's not that important.
And there's so many killer tracks on the record, and for some of you people out there who don't yet have it, The Poison Red came out in July of this past year. Be sure to go out there and look for it. It's on Spine Farm Records. So many cool tracks, El Diablo, Divided and Conquer, some of my favorites. But one of the songs I quickly want to talk about, I know we don't have time to talk about all of them, but one of them is called Chasing White Rabbits. And it's an intriguing song because, as you look at the lyrical content, again, it kind of talks about chasing that dream and alluding to the Alice in Wonderland rabbit, I guess, going down a path that is unknown, and whether you're going to be continuing to chase that rabbit forever. Do you ever feel like that?
That's what the song's about. It's that I'm doing something that's very, either jumping with both feet or kind of don't do it at all. Music and touring and writing records and doing the record deals and all that stuff. It's a very scary type of livelihood because it's all based on opinion. It's like having a restaurant and hoping that your cuisine is gonna stay being the new hot shit for, as long as possible. But with me, I'm literally reaching up into the ether and pulling down, words and music, and hoping someone, connects with it.
Yeah.
So to base, the roof over my head, the food on my plate, the clothes on my daughter and my wife's back, those all on that,
Yeah.
is a crazy notion. And it's like, it's like chasing the rabbit down the rabbit hole. You don't know no idea, but there's something telling you gotta go. And that's basically what it is.
Do you think, because at the early beginnings of NONPOINT, you guys, when Statement came out, you guys were signed to MCA at a major label, kind of already at a particular height, getting the support and everything that you needed on the back end, and kind of going through some of those ups and downs, that you kind of feel that starting out at kind of like a higher elevation than kind of most bands at that time made that a little bit more difficult when you kind of hit some of the low points?
Well, it's really, like I said, the low points are really due to market and radio,
right,
and what's hot and what's not at the time. We're who we are, and we're the rock band that we've been for years, and we let our music grow with us, as opposed to weighing it against someone else's music and hoping that we sound like them. So we've had, our last record had our highest charting single, of all time. So our career isn't based on, a beginning and an end timeline. It's I didn't start judging where my money was right from the gate, because a label isn't really what makes or breaks a band.
So musically, again, this record is delivering a lot of new things for fans, and we talked about what some of the additions of new members have done, but also it seems like with the return and the Poison Raid, you have taken the production duties in-house. The band is producing itself kind of with the help of some outside people, but kind of managing it more yourself. What kind of doors has that kind of opened for the band? Why was that decision made?
Well, we've always produced our own records from the go. Our manager in the beginning, helped kind of executive produce but all throughout our career, Johnny K was really one of the only first guys that we sat down and worked with. So us going in with us is what we do. We know what we want to sound like, and as we put out more records and we go in and we record more records, you learn more and more, and you become more hands-on.
And talk about that, the writing process too has kind of evolved now for the band. What kind of new things now have you kind of implemented and saying, these things are going to kind of stay with us probably for the rest of our career as far as writing?
There's no rules to writing. Song comes how it comes. Sometimes you write it entirely by yourself. Sometimes, somebody sends a riff and it turns into, a rock opera. It's just, it is what it's supposed to be for us. You don't force it.
And you guys right now are on the road with Escape the Fate. And how's this run going? I know it's going to end in a few days.
It's been great. Guys are really cool. Their fans are awesome. Our fans are digging them too, and we're selling tickets. So
I'm not familiar with them at all, and my guy Carlos was asking me, he says, "Rob, are you going to work with that band?" I said, "I really don't know anything about them. Hopefully tonight I will."
Yeah, they're good guys. They're excellent players, really talented. So check them out, definitely.
And what is the rest of? I know you guys might take the holidays off, but what does 2017 hold for the band?
We do a couple shows in January after Shiprocked, and then we go out with Alter Bridge in February.
That's pretty cool, Walter Bridge.
Yes, sir.
Plains, I guess obviously those will kind of be some bigger shows for the band.
Yes, sir. Big venues.
Are you familiar with Alter Bridge? I mean, obviously, Tremonti's from Florida and stuff.
Yeah, we know this. We've known Tremonti for years. We've always stayed in touch. He's been a fan of the band, and we've always been a fan of his solo stuff. And the Alter Bridge stuff is really heavy. I was really surprised when we first started listening, and it's really intricate, and like I said, the guys are players.
Yeah, Good heavy melodic stuff too. Kind of reminds me of of NONPOINT too, because you guys are the same way.
Yeah, I'm stoked. You know, people are excited about the tour, so we're excited about it too.
I alluded earlier to the video for Generation Idiot. Any more videos that you guys would like to do?
Divided drops on Friday.
Nice.
That's part one of a two-part series. I'm the only one appearing in the video, this one, and then I don't even want to give this away. It's really, really cool. The director really brought something interesting to the table, and you know, together we made a great video.
As I end out, Elias, you know, we talked about, you know, the longevity in the band and, you know, the continued success of the band, and you guys are still reaching out to new fans, but definitely NONPOINT has their core fans. Your fans are dedicated and diehard. They love the band passionately, and I have to mention the Facebook group, 361 Degrees.
Yeah. Those guys, 361, hit it up.
Yeah, good stuff on there. You can get all your information, see everything that the fans are doing, sharing stuff with NONPOINT. Elias, it's been great to have you, sir. Any last words that you want to share with the people out there around the world who will see this interview?
Stay connected. The new video comes out soon for Divided, and we're hoping that Last Dying Breath will be the next one to be out. So keep your ears open.
Sweet. Remember, everybody out there, the brand new one from the band is called The Poison Red. It's out there. Be sure to go pick it up. You saw the man, Elias Soriano, right here on Robb's MetalWorks.